For those of you who are in Malmö for the first time and who are not too familiar with our city, I'd like to say we have historically been described as a harbor of hope. If we go back several decades in our history, we can see already during and after World War II, many refugees ended up calling Malmö their home. The well-known white buses of the Red Cross brought survivors from the concentration camps to our city. During the 80s, many who fled the Iran-Iraq wars and also Palestinians who sought refuge in our city. In the early 1990s, the Balkan Wars led to many seeking refuge. And then, during the refugee wave of Syrians in 2015, we saw about 10,000 people entering Sweden every week. And in February, last year, due to the brutal and unjustified Russian invasion of Ukraine, we immediately started to get ready again.
For us, it's important that our children understand that what is human rights. When they have just violence around, we want them to stay people. We have 38 people who each day go to the fields. It means that they can die anytime. We have losses among children, among teachers. But at the same time, we know that if we lose, we all will die. We don't have another option, actually. I want to show you that we fight for our values, and our democratic values, it's inside us, and we want to have peace. But peace in the meaning that no one can destroy your borders. We would like young people to share experience, cultural aspects, and have friends outside of Ukraine.
When the refugees come here, they are bombarded by information from day one. And this information comes very fragmented. There is also a need to make sense of the information, to build some sort of a roadmap for people and to be like a reliable source of correct information, and to see sort of a more like a human response, to see the person and not just the website, to ask all the questions in the order that is important for this particular person.
Look people in the eye and how we welcome people. If people coming to Sweden, are they a gift to our society or are they a burden? And I think we should see people as a gift. We also open up our own private network. We have wonderful result. 90% of the participants who've been to us go to work. Food, farming and friendship, that's the magic.
We can't really know what the Ukrainians in Lund need. You shouldn't plan for everything by yourself, because then you often get wrong, but you have to provide people with the means.
Therefore, the grassroots and the civil society is so important also for the municipality to work together in collaboration.
Most important challenge, to be honest, is the housing question. We have right now almost 1,000 Ukrainians in Malmö, and we have a prognosis of receiving almost 600 Ukrainians, and we need to take that responsibility and find housing.
As a Ukrainian refugee myself, I would like to say thank you, first of all, for all Swedish society, because each person I met in Sweden, they actually showed the solidarity with Ukraine in different ways.
The power of folk building is so important, so even if people are going to stay here in Sweden, or if they're going back, whatever they decide to, we want to really give them that powerful force of connecting with other people and how strong we can be when we are together and we learn about each other.
I always like to see it as a privilege to be able to take some action and some responsibility, because I come from Russia myself.
EU has taken new important steps forward in the integration process. And I would argue that the EU is, despite calls of the collapse of the EU, actually been strengthened by this decade of crisis. European security and defense has evolved more in the last 6 days than in the 2 past decades.
We want to be part of the rebuilding of Ukraine after the war stops. So this is part of the agreement that Malmö is in, together with 150 other European cities.
The worst thing that is happening globally in Europe is by far the war in Ukraine. Me having higher interest rates on my loans on my house, that's nothing. I think the best way to show solidarity is to stay on the case and be focused, even though you have other stuff on your mind.
We are standing not for Ukraine or Ukrainian citizens only. We are standing for all Europe.
You are not alone.
Tack så mycket for all Swedish people and Swedish society in supporting Ukraine.